very unassuming off the mound, right?
Yes.
And pitching in Hollywood, I'm saying to myself, you got the stars. You got Buehler, you got Urias, Kershaw. But he's the one that's emerging from the shadows as their most reliable starter. So let's dive into a little tape right here, because we'll get into the Cats. Bring up this full screen real quick. Lowest ERA since the start of 2019.
Wow.
Minimum 35 starts. I mean, two of the greatest right-handers that have ever lived in front of Tony Gonsolin and Tyler Glass. Now, hopefully, he comes back. Max. I mean, this is rarefied air. Okay, so I want to dive in a little bit, run to some sound when he actually did come in, because he took the bump last night and he was on fire. And like I said, there's Walker Buehler. You pay the price of admission to see Clayton Kershaw when he's right. Julio Urias is a 20-game winner. But Tony Gonsolin 6-0 with a 1.59 and 10 starts. And in 2019, when he walked in here, he didn't technically know what his role was going to be. Take a listen to how shy this guy was.
Threw out of the bullpen in 2017 and then started all last year and this year. So it's kind of just knowing which role I'm going to be in and then fully investing in that.
Well, invest in the fact that you love cats and that you might be starting the All-Star game. Look, he's got the cat man. And Lauren, I'm going to take you back because this was last year. He decided to decorate his cleats with fur. And do you remember when we saved the cat? Pretty Ricky. I heard him in the parking lot. He was buried in Scott Braun's engine. I reached my hand up, saved his life, eventually handed him off to Donna, our makeup artist, who still should work here, and lifted him up to the world, Maverick, okay? And then he went out on the mound, gave him a good life, and Tony Gonsolin's living a good life. 159 batting average versus him this year. That's the second lowest in Major League Baseball, with Michael Kopech #1. And you talk about the cat being named Maverick. I got to hit the theaters this weekend to see Top Gun Maverick, because I heard it's Tom Cruise's. It could be his best work of all time.
Yeah, but he's still crazy as you know what.
Well, let's leave the whole Scientology
I mean, he is a
thing.
loon. I mean, my God, we're celebrating this dude.
We're gonna leave that out of it. But honestly, Tony Gonsolin, if you do dive in on him, he's got a heater that's hot. He's got one of the best splits in the game. He said he didn't have his good stuff last night. He still had that curveball landing at the top of the zone. So when he's right, he is really effective. But to see him walk in, I always think back to that. Matt Beatty was supposed to come on the show, and he brought Tony in, hat backwards, wanted to hide in the weeds.
He didn't want to come on.
Tony, come on.
Yeah.
And now to see him.
Yep. And Dave Roberts talks about that. He says the difference is he expects to go 3 times through the lineup now. He never did before.